welcome back to another episode on my YouTube channel. And of course, club football is back. The international games have been quite interesting for me. I think with the whole situation with Nigeria and Libya, of course, CAF is still looking into it. But now we are back to club football, and there's some quite interesting fixtures. Of course, you should look out for. And in the Premier League, it's always exciting. And of course, it starts off with London derby, and that's between Tottenham and West Ham. Tottenham in their last game against Brighton were 2-0 up and unfortunately lost 3-2 in that game. But they are playing against West Ham this time around. They're playing at home. I don't know if it's much of an advantage for them, but one thing I know about Tottenham is when they are playing at home, they have all the advantage. For them, they have the fans behind them and a new stadium, right? So they have everything to work in their favor. But probably because of the last game they played against Brighton. I know Brighton is not such a bad team, and so, but I wasn't expecting them to actually even lose the game. They were 2-0 up, as I said, in the first half, and in the second half, they literally broke down completely, with them conceding 3 goals in the second half and eventually losing that game. So I want to believe it's not going to be the same case this time when they play West Ham. But a London derby is always exciting, to watch, and it starts off, the weekend is match day 8 in the Premier League. Another fixture that I think is quite interesting is Fulham Aston Villa. Now Aston Villa played out a new draw against Manchester United, which I don't know if I should say I'm surprised, but Manchester United have not played so well, so I expected Aston Villa to win that game. But this time around, they're playing against a Fulham side that is, you know, they've not done badly so far this season. And if you probably any positive that you take from that Fulham side is the fact that they are above Manchester United on the table. If that's good news for some of the fans, yes, but I think it's going to be another interesting fixture to look out for. And then Manchester United will be playing Brentford. Now, this fixture between these two sides, I think Brentford somehow, when they first came into the Premier League, they always had this upper hand, against Manchester United. But so far, I think in the last probably 1 or 2 fixtures, they found it difficult to beat Manchester United. And they are playing at home. And I'm talking of Manchester United this time. The Red Devils are playing at home. So hopefully, probably the draw they had against Aston Villa will give them some sort of encouragement to say, yes, we can play better. They are currently on the 14th on the table, and they need to do better. Erin Ten Hag has to get it right with that team. And a lot of people are saying if he loses this one, it might probably not be sacked. We don't know what's happening with the board, but let's see how that goes. Another game is, of course, Newcastle against Brighton, and these two teams are some of the toughest teams to beat in the Premier League, and they're going to be going head, against each other. So I don't know how that is going to be, but Brighton has not done badly I think in their last game, apart from the one that they beat Tottenham, they've not done badly. But I'm going to find it difficult to say, oh, they're going to beat Newcastle. Newcastle is playing at home, and when Newcastle is playing in St. James's Park, they're a completely different team entirely. And the last fixture on Saturday is Bournemouth against Arsenal. Now, for Arsenal, I don't know how they're going to cope, but there's news of Bukayo Saka injured. There's news that Kai Havertz is also injured. Now, those are some of their consistent, players that have been picking up the points for Arsenal. But I don't know. It's not confirmed yet. I want to believe it's not confirmed yet. Probably when Mikel Arteta does his press conference, we'll get the full gist of it. But I want to believe that this is going to be a walk in the park for Arsenal anyway. They've not done badly. They are presently, I think, number 3 on the table. And so, yeah, they should be able to pick up all 3 points in this one. And then on Sunday, it is Wolves against Man City. Wolves is at home. Man City, I feel like they've been struggling a bit, probably because they're without Rodri, who has been their main guy for the better part of last season and even the season before, and is out for the rest of the season. So they're still struggling. They also have Kevin De Bruyne, who is also injured. But they have players who I think can step up, get the job done, but they might struggle a bit. And that's one thing about Man City. The times where they are struggling, they always just get the point. And that's one thing you want to see about teams that are winning trophy. out to get the result when it seems like the team is literally crumbling as it seems. But they're playing Wolves who have not done so good. They've been poor from the very beginning of this season. Currently, they're even number 18 on the table. So Man City should be able to get all 3 points from this one and probably return top of the table until Liverpool and Chelsea play. I think that's going to be the match of the weekend. Chelsea have been on a good run of form, winning 3 games and 1 draw in the month of September. And their coach winning the manager of the month, and Cole Palmer winning the player of the month. So I think it's the excitement all around for Chelsea at the moment. But they're playing a Liverpool team who are top of the table. They've not done badly. I think they've lost 1 game and won about 7 of them. I don't know. It's going to be an exciting game. And the funny thing about this fixture between these two teams is it just always ends in a draw. I don't know I can't understand it. But Chelsea is always playing better in those games, and I probably think it's because they're always struggling to get goals. But this time around, they've been scoring a lot. I think they have about 17 goals, to their books. Even though yes, they've conceded about maybe is it 12 or something, but it's going to be an interesting game, and that is what I look forward to. Probably it will end in a draw again, but these two teams are looking to, create that edge in the league, and they are doing so at the moment. And I want to believe that the game is going to end in a draw. And then on Monday, it is Nottingham Forest against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace are seriously struggling at the moment, and I don't know how they won't get relegated, and that's just the truth. But but the thing is, I feel like Crystal Palace over the years have just known how to avoid relegation. I think they've done it for consistently 2 years now. Even when they are going through a lot of struggles, they just always find a way to avoid relegation. So that might also be the case. But this time around, they're going to be facing Nottingham Forest, who has been playing so well. They played Chelsea in the last game. It was a 1-1 draw. Although it was quite feisty at the end of the game, but they got the 1 point that they needed, and they've also beaten Liverpool this season. So Crystal Palace is going to have a lot of work cut out for them to be able to get any sort of point in this game. And then, of course, we move to La Liga, where it's obviously starting today. Deportivo Alaves is going to be kicking off some of the games today, Friday, and they'll be hosting Real Valladolid by 8 p.m. Another game will be tomorrow, which is Celta Vigo against Real Madrid. Now, Real Madrid are second on the table, and they're literally chasing Barcelona, who are top of the table. And I think the points between them is just about 3 points. So if Real Madrid picks up 3 points from this game, yes, they're playing away from home. And I do think it's going to be an interesting one because Real Madrid are also struggling. They are finding it a bit difficult. They have a lot of injured players. They are struggling to get, yes, they're getting the points, but just as it is with Man City, I think it also applies to them. Although Ancelotti is an experienced coach, he knows what to do with that team, even if they're struggling, but I want to believe they'll be able to pick up all 3 points in this game. Celta Vigo will give them a lot of work to do, but they should be able to pick up all 3 points in this one. And then on Sunday, it is Atletico Madrid who and number 3 on the table. They are also chasing Real Madrid, literally, and Barcelona. They'll be hosting Leganes at the Metropolitano Stadium. It's going to also be an interesting one. Leganes have not done badly this season, although I feel like they are struggling a little bit at the moment, but they're able to pick, results in 1 or 2 games. So hopefully in this one, I don't know if they're able to pick up the point, but Atletico Madrid will look to stay on course with the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona on the table. And then Barcelona will be hosting Sevilla. Barcelona is playing at home. Now, Barcelona has been on an amazing run of form from the start of this season, apart from one of the games that they lost, I think 4-2. And Flick has been able to manage those young crops of players, the likes of Lamine Yamal. Although I do think Lamine Yamal might not be able to start this game. I think he's injured or something. But even if he doesn't play, I want to believe that Barcelona will be able to pick up all 3 points in this one. And then on Monday is Valencia against Las Palmas. Las Palmas are literally struggling. In fact, both of them, they are really, really struggling. They are the bottom part of the table. So I don't know how that is going to turn out. But Las Palmas is at home. So it will be quite interesting to see how that ends. And then in the Serie A, some of the games that I think is going to be quite interesting is starting off tomorrow. Fabregas's Como is hosting Parma. It's going to be an interesting game for them. I think the big one is Juventus against Lazio. Now, both of them have 13 points on the table, and I don't know. Juventus have been playing so well recently, but for them to share 13 points with Lazio, it means Lazio has also been doing some amazing job. So it's going to be quite an interesting fixture. AC Milan is up and down with them, but they are hosting Udinese in San Siro. So that's another match that is quite interesting. And then Napoli, who are top of the table. Antonio Conte is doing so well with that team at the moment. Romeo Lukaku is scoring goals for them. They also have some players that are getting the goals for them, and they're quite consistent, and I think that's what has kept them top of the table. But yeah, another game is Roma and against Inter Milan. That's also another interesting game to look out for. Inter Milan at the moment are number 2 on the table, and they'll be looking to move to the top of the table when they host Roma. Now Roma also are, as I said, up and down, but they're not doing badly, but they are playing at home, so I don't know how that is going to end. But if Inter is able to pick up all 3 points in that one with Lautaro Martinez scoring the goals for them, yeah, it's all good. It's going to be quite an interesting game to look out for in that one. And then of course we move over to Bundesliga, where there's some quite interesting fixtures in that one, although it's also starting today. Borussia Dortmund lost their last game. They are hosting newcomers St. Pauli at home later today by 7:30. And tomorrow, Saturday, we have Bayern Leverkusen, who I've also not started the season badly, but they will be hosting Eintracht Frankfurt. Frankfurt at the moment are number 3 on the table, and it's going to be a lot of work for Bayern Leverkusen because they are number 5 on the table at the moment. So if they are able to win that one, they'll move up to number 2 on the league, leap above Frankfurt on the table. But I think that's going to be an interesting game that, of course, you can look out for. And then the league leaders, Bayern Munich, who also have started the league with an amazing run of wins, they are going to be hosting Stuttgart, who are giving a lot of teams a lot of work to do. At the moment, they're also not doing badly, but it's good. And then on Sunday, we have Union Berlin playing away to hosting Chaos, and then Wolfsburg to host Werder Bremen. So those are some of the games in Bundesliga, and of course the last league fixtures are from League On. Brest are going to be hosting Rennes. Is going to be quite I think that is going to be an interesting fixture, and that's for tomorrow, Saturday. But the main one is AS Monaco, who are top of the league. They are going to be hosting Lille. Monaco somehow have just, I think, turned the ties for themselves. They've done so well this season, and they are giving PSG a run for the top of the table. They are currently 19 points on the table, and they are going to be hosting Lille, although Lille also is number 4 on the table. So it's going to be quite a very interesting fixture to watch. I do want to see how that turns out. But if Monaco is able to win that one, they will have about, I think, 5 points, difference from PSG, who would be hoping to win their game against Strasbourg, who are also a tough side. I don't know how they're going to do, but I must believe they're able to pick up all 3 points anyway. Yeah, they should be able to pick up all 3 points, but PSG would have to win their match to maintain the 2-point difference between themselves and Monaco. So that is going to be happening on Saturday, and then on Sunday it is Montpellier against Marseille. And that's for a later fixture on Sunday. But early fixtures will be Le Havre against Lyon. Now Lyon also have been on a good run of form, recently, but they are going to be facing Le Havre, who are really straight. Le Havre have not won, I think, 4 of their last league games. So and they're playing at home. I don't know how they are going to do it, but hopefully it's going to be all 3 points for Lyon. Yeah, I think those are some of the interesting fixtures that will be happening this weekend. But please don't forget to share with me what you think, some of the fixtures that you are looking out for, in the comment section, what the results you think would be. Do you think Liverpool is going to defeat Chelsea? You think PSG is going to win their game and go back top of the league table? Do you think Monaco will remain there? Do you think Bayern Munich will also remain top of the table? But yeah, just share everything with me in the comment section, and also don't forget to put on your post notification button to get our latest video when they drop. Also share, like, and follow us on all our social media handles on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at official FSH. That's Fentola Sports Up. Anyway, that's much for me for this weekend, and until I come your way when the matches will be played and we'll be discussing all the interesting results. Don't forget, enjoy your weekend. It's bye from me.